same religion that he gave to the very first prophet, Adam alayhi salam, and the same religion has been coming from that time to now. Nobody brought a new religion except the fact that followers obviously were not able to always remember or preserve whatever message Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the earlier prophets at the time, when it was very difficult to preserve that message in writing. Languages were evolving, humans were spreading on this globe, and wherever they went, their dialects changed. And original message that came for people, let's say 50 years prior to that, others probably could not understand. We can only guess their difficulties right now, but that's the way it was at the time. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made at that time it a point that people that are receiving a messenger, they understand that messenger very well in that particular language, and they get the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to worship Him and Him alone. Now, over the years, when humans evolved and they populated this globe, this earth, they started to learn also about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His message. They started to learn about His creation. They developed science, they developed education systems, and they became much more aware of their surroundings, and then talked about certain scientific things that they did not know before, like they did not think that Earth was egg-shaped or oval. They also did not really know that there are areas where there are two oceans that meet and they don't mix with each other. The water stays fairly usable on one side and is usually very salty or very difficult to drink on the other side. And things like that evolved. Eventually humans started to more or less learn about the universe, and then they realized that the earth was not something that just happened by coincidence. Then they said it has started with one bang, big bang, and then it's expanding. And Al-Quran had mentioned that this 1400 years ago, that all of this was one, and I spread it. I kind of made it explode, and it's expanding constantly. Similarly, so many other things that science is learning now was already mentioned in Divine Book. But to make it simple, I'm just saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given basically the same message throughout, and humans really have to catch up to it. Now, why I say this, I feel this is important, because if you're talking to a person that of, let's say, Jewish faith, and that person might say that that Moses was able to do certain things that that other prophets couldn't do, or whatever else. They start to compare, just like they would say that somebody would say that Abraham was thrown into the fire and he didn't burn, so how come your prophets does not have that kind of an ability and stuff. I'm just making it easy and simple for us to understand that comparing the prophets with each other and comparing whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given them as special kind of qualities or special things that they had to demonstrate to their followers to make them believe in themselves were different. Needs were different at the time, and whatever was necessary was done. Now Moses goes to Mount Tur and wants to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he keeps insisting that I want to talk to you. And he was told that you cannot really see me or talk to me directly, but indirectly I'll throw a little bit of my tajalli or my appearance on a mountain, and a mountain cannot sustain me, will break into pieces. You can imagine what can happen to you if I directly kind of show myself to you. And that, obviously, we know that once the tajalli was thrown on the mountain, basically shattered, and Moses was unconscious for a while, and then later on when he woke up, he realized that whatever he was asking was a little bit beyond his capacity. However, all this I am saying it so that we should be able to say to our non-Muslim friends when they question about our beloved Prophet's status, that every Prophet brought the same religion. Our beloved Prophet did not bring any new religion. He was preaching the same religion that Abraham brought, Adam a.s. brought, Noah, Ismail, Jacob, and others. Same religion is with us. And our beloved Prophet is the final messenger, because now when he arrived on this earth, humans were evolved to the point where we can preserve the message, save it, and pass it on to the entire universe. This could not happen, let's say 100 years prior to that, because we did not have all kind of instrumentation that we have today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew all of that. He is the one who made this system, and He is the one who has actually made it happen this way. All we have to do is respect all the messengers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that these are the messengers, tilka rusulu, these are the messengers. Faddalna ba'dahum ala ba'd. I have given some fazila to some over the others, but again, that basically was in that particular subject, in that particular department, in that particular time. Doesn't mean that they really have that kind of a status that that has to be imposed on others. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has now created a message that is for the entire universe, and you can see it in 2025 that mashallah, Islam is across the globe, and people in different countries know what Islam is and what it means, and that how this is really related to all the previous religions. It's nothing new about it. It's basically reaffirmation of the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to all the messengers. Now, it will be very disrespectful to put down anybody else's messenger. When they talk about it, listen to it and do not say anything negative. Basically admire that and say that is our messenger also. We have to believe in him to become the believers in Islam. And once you are that patient and that kind of a listener, then there is less of a chance for the other person to be misguided. Our purpose should be to demonstrate by our character, by our behavior, and by our message that we are not here to compete with anyone, but to deliver the message. And once they see that we have to believe in their messengers before we can really preach ours, then they will be much more receptive and hopefully much more guided. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding that we have a mission to accomplish here. We are brought into this world at a particular time, and we must really understand what the need of our time is. Give this message to people that are hungry for something that is really, really very, very heartwarming and very enlightening. And once they hear that, they start to study, then the message takes over. Message itself is so attractive that once you read Al-Quran with this meaning, with this understanding, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides you towards it, if you are to be guided, and then the rest of that becomes easy. Also remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs all other challenges around us, and He has put people in certain roles to play, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most kind and most forgiving. He only knows why He made some people to be born in certain villages, certain families, others into other families, and all of that is part of an intricate plan, so that those who believe also are challenged by those that are not believing, and thus the system goes on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our shortcomings and guide us in the right path. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.